life is rotten, but you've forgotten. You always need to dance and laugh and sing. So when you're in the dumps, don't be silly.
It's a brand new day. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day.
Oh, click. Hey. Oh, well, good morning. I think we've established now that it's morning. Won't need to do that again. Technical difficulties.
When you're
you guys missed the whole bit. It's fine.
It's morning somewhere.
It's morning again. It's morning somewhere. It's also 5 p.m. somewhere, which means that
I'd rather be.
So we won't tell you what's in the glass because it's 5 p.m. somewhere. But again, never met a stranger. Welcome to the podcast. It's great to be with you guys. My name is Israel. I have absolutely no qualifications to be doing what I'm doing besides I apparently have stuff to say. So we're going to go ahead and roll with it.
That is not true.
Hey, I'll take the compliment.
Literally the smartest person I know.
Thank you.
Besides me and then Callie's friend.
I agree.
I appreciate it. So again, my name is Israel. Thank you for being with me. I got my sister here, Callie.
Yes. So I'm a marriage and family therapist. I'm also a veteran for all my veterans out there.
Holla at him.
Shout out.
But yeah, I also have no experience. Thank you for tuning in.
Well, I have tons of experience, way more than I should, and so I'll just whoosh. Now you guys have experience.
Oh, there we go. We're rolling.
So my name is Linnell. Hello. Well, I was a DJ for 33 years, in radio for 40 years, which is weird because I'm only 29.
Hey.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I'm 29.95 for shipping and handling. It's not my fault.
It is that shipping and handling. That's the difference.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Shipping and handling goes up so much each year. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so but the three of us combined, I think we have enough experience and life experience and talkability.
Yes.
Talkability works.
We're going to make it a word. If it's not, we're going to make it one.
Yeah, so that is why we are combined to do Never Met a Stranger,
Never Met a Stranger.
the podcast.
And again, there are no strangers, just friends you haven't met yet, right?
That's
what we're going
right.
with.
And
That's
we're
right.
so glad to meet you, friends.
Here's our commonalities, and we have a lot, considering that you're my son and my daughter, and we have a strong family resemblance.
As you can tell, I'm just tanning a little bit more.
You know,
right? But you know what? Actually, that's a great story. You guys will tell that story about how you met.
Yeah.
Callie really is our common denominator.
Yes,
Callie is really my daughter, and is my adopted son. But Callie, so Javi out there, Dustin, who I call Dustin the Wind, she is the common denominator for this team to be together for Never Met a Stranger.
Yes.
Sometime I want to be a common denominator that's good.
It's the foundation.
Is it a sturdily built foundation?
Yes.
Is it a sturdily built foundation?
I don't want to be like the common denominator where your therapist says you've had 5 failed relationships and you're
the common
denominator.
Oh no! Is that what I am?
I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm serious. I've told that to people where it's like, hey, if all your relationships fail, you should probably look internally because you are the only common denominator.
This will probably keep me in business as a therapist. Okay, I don't know.
Now Callie is the common denominator.
Good. That's right. That's good. We're not here because we hate Callie. We're here because we love her.
We love her, right?
And fortunately, she has good taste because I like you guys too. Consequently,
yes.
If I hated you, I wouldn't do it. Promise.
So the other commonality we have is that we're avid readers. We always reading the news, but we all agree that we're living in a bad news world.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
There's a little too much bad news. That's not palpable.
It's divisive. It's contentious.
We
need a little more positivity in the
world.
You
know? A little more positivity. And so it starts here.
Exactly.
We can make that change.
Yes. How do you change the world?
We can be the good news in a bad news world.
I like it.
And even if it's just a small change, there's no such thing as a small change, is there?
No.
Right?
Ripple effect.
Oh, yeah. Butterfly effect. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, I was reading the bad news. Because I always do. Because, you have to stay current.
It's usually
but
the first
then
thing,
at the end, I always find a little good news story.
Right?
That reminds me of the Monty Python song.
Okay.
What?
Does you guys know who Monty Python is?
I know the name, and obviously, I've heard Monty Python. I've never
Someone in this room must know who Monty Python is.
I've never seen anything
Dustin?
Monty Python.
Dustin knows. He gives me the thumbs up.
Okay.
Monty
That's
Python
our audio guy.
is like the British Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, like the Holy Grail.
Okay.
I know they did the whole satire.
Monty Python has a little song But I'm gonna
does
need
it
you guys
go?
to whistle.
Oh God.
I can't whistle. Listen,
Oh my gosh.
I've never been able to whistle.
And
Do you know anybody who can't whistle?
I told you my mom cannot whistle to save her life. To save her life. I love her
have
dearly.
always
Neither
wanted
can
to
mine.
whistle.
There we go.
I guess you have some
When
things in
I
common.
sing karaoke and I sing Dock of the Bay, I have to say, oh, we,
Yeah,
because there's no, I
That's
can't
her
whistle.
mom. That's her
And
mom.
it's ridiculous. Okay, you can whistle. Okay.
I'm an exceptional
This
whistler.
could be one of those great bits like Bohemian Rhapsody on Wayne's World or Night at the Roxbury.
we
Anyway.
should ask the people
Okay,
out
ready?
there though.
This
if
is what you
they
guys
can
have to
whistle.
do. Dee-doo, dee-doo, dee-doo. You have to whistle that. Dee-doo, 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 dee-doo. Okay. This is the way the song goes, if I can think of it. It goes like this. Life is kind of bad, and sometimes it'll make you mad. But when you're chewing on life's gristle, don't get mad. Just give a whistle.
As long
And always look on the bright side of life. Dee-doo, 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 dee-doo. Now do your head. Always look
I'm not
on
singing.
the light
Okay.
side
You're
doing the whistle.
of life. Dee-doo, 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 dee-doo. Sometimes life is rotten, but you've forgotten.
I love it.
Anyway, I just do.
Bam.
Yay!
Finish it.
It just reminded me because, they're always looking on the bright side of
I like
life,
it.
right?
I
There
like
were
it.
a
Oh, we
couple
just
other
did.
name suggestions there, but Javi, he vetoed one of them, rightfully so.
What was?
Javi is our camera guy.
Oh, he is.
everybody.
He
What
vetoed
was-
the
oh,
happy
please-
The fourth
endings.
wall.
Oh, that's right. We cannot call this segment happy
We
endings.
cannot, but we're going to
That's-
call it the bright side.
I guess. Right.
Because now we have a theme song.
How to change your life with positive thinking.
Oh, there we go.
First of
101.
all-
Right.
First of all, Callie and I were talking about the LA fires, which our heart goes out to
Yes,
you,
yes.
LA, and we stand
Absolutely.
behind you and whatever we can do here other than pray for you and your safety. And that is a lot of really bad news, but we found some good news within that.
Yeah, a lot of good stories.
A lot of
Yeah,
heroes.
unsung heroes. Yeah.
Unsung
They don't
heroes.
wear capes,
People, complete strangers who banded together in communities to either connect their hoses and spray off the rooftops. But the one that really stuck out to me was the people who went door to door
Yeah, to get the elderly out.
to get
Oh,
the
really?
elderly and disabled out of their homes and get them to safety.
What a good thought, too,
Yeah.
right? I don't think I would have thought of that. Me personally, I'd probably be running, grabbing my personal items, but there's
Yeah.
people out there that left theirs to go help other people.
I
Yeah.
mean, here's the old thing is if you knew that you were going to lose your whole house, what are the 5 things you would grab if
Yeah.
that's all you had time for? And it's
Right.
really
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of a good exercise.
Well, yeah,
you know?
it tells you exactly what's important to you. For
What are
one.
the things that you would,
Oh God! Outside of my wife and daughter, which I am capable of carrying, I
I
wanted
guess
to
those
add.
are people and not items.
Okay. Items. Well, they're my most cherished possessions.
Okay.
I'd probably grab. I have an entire important documents case,
Oh,
and
yes.
I would grab it just because it has a lot of family photos.
Okay, note to self. Gonna do
Just
that.
like a lot of, I keep it, and it's actually in a fireproof little thing that it's fine.
Shoot.
So
But you-
just for that
You're
reason,
But
thinking
you
of
don't want to
everything.
test it out.
I don't want to test it out, but I want to grab it just because it's important to me, right?
Right.
But it's massive, so I don't know if I can grab that and something else.
Okay.
I'm not a huge materialistic person. Like I really,
Okay.
really am not. I think that as long as I have my people with me,
Yeah.
I will let the rest of everything
Listen
burn,
though.
and I'm fine. I really, really
But
am.
then if you don't have anything at all, are you just going to go out and buy new things like toothbrush, toilet paper?
Things could be replaced.
Well, right.
And then,
Especially
okay.
if you have
And
that
then on that note, when it
with
comes,
insurance.
yeah, right.
Clothes, like
Again, clothes could be replaced. As far as I'm concerned, I have because I'm almost overly prepared. I have toothbrush, toothpaste, both at work and a second set in my car.
oh my god.
So if my house burns down, I'm covered.
Okay.
Well, your teeth are covered.
I have, yeah, right. I have a like a little de facto, like I call, your go bag, your
Yes.
bug out bag, as it were. I have a change
Emergency
of clothes in my car as well. So
Smart. Yeah.
I have a toddler, people.
Right.
So I'm used to
Yes,
being prepared.
baby wipes,
I have
yes.
exact baby wipes because when she was a little girl, like if she spit up on me and I'm in public, I'm not gonna walk around with this big old stain on my shirt. So I said, you know what? I need to keep a change of clothes. And I'm
Yes,
fine.
I like it.
So yeah,
Yeah, well,
How about
I would
you?
only grab. I'd probably not grab anything except for people and dogs and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if there are things that are irreplaceable, like family photos or
Yeah.
pictures of my mom and dad who have passed, you can't recreate photos.
No, you
And,
can't.
however, now that I'm saying this, I am going to take those photos, scan them in,
Yep,
and
have them
upload into the
digitized.
cloud because
Yeah.
it makes no sense to have valuables and not protect them when you have technology.
Shoot, I
Agreed.
think that I'm gonna have an emergency bag now.
You need
now
to.
that we're thinking
I'm
about
serious.
this,
I'll send you the links.
Gosh, growing up and then being, going to church,
Mhm.
they would always say, if something ever happened, what are the free things that you would get? Would it be your Bible?
Mhm,
And I
yeah.
never thought, okay, maybe I should grab my Bible, but it like brings it back to me.
Yeah.
In my
But-
childhood.
But the Bible is also replaceable. The American flag is also up there.
Mhm.
Because you don't want to step burn. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
mhm.
But realistically, I've never been materialistic
No.
either. People are what I invest in. That's what's important to me.
Mhm.
And, as long as Callie and
Wow.
the little babies and my son and I knew my other son, if everybody was safe, it's like the celebrities who've lost their homes
Yeah.
a lot in the
Yeah.
Palisades. I can't say Emilio Vitigliano, or I can't say his name correctly, but I read that story about him where he stood there with his family and watched the house burn.
I can't even.
But he wasn't sad because he had his family beside him.
yeah.
That to me says it all,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Can replace houses and everything.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, LA, we
feel
and
for
all
you.
of the unsung heroes. The good news that you've created a terrible bad news situation. We love you, and
Yeah.
and we really again pray that everybody gets through this, and LA comes back stronger than ever.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what's really really interesting about this one is just, as you guys know, I'm not from here, right? Like I'm not
Yeah.
born and raised in California, so the idea of there being fires to that extent
Mhm.
that are close to home, far from it. I'm from
Fires, earthquakes.
yeah, exactly. I'm from the greater Seattle area. Shout out Federal Way, Washington.
Shout out.
But
We get a shout out. We might as well go.
no,
shout out to
we're not doing it.
Israel,
The Price is
Isaac,
Right
and
over here.
Abraham.
Exactly.
Who would you like to shout out?
We're going to stop that because again, you guys, I'm not shouting at anybody else because I've gotten grief for shouting out in the
Listen.
past.
The first
this
episode,
is
he
Callie
had
shout
a
out.
long laundry list of people to shout out.
No, you're not giving me grief for that.
I would like to shout out my mother.
Oh God. But anyway, so yeah, I'm from Washington, right? Where it rains like 9 months out of the
Yes.
year, right? So
Yes.
the idea of there being forest fires is something completely foreign to me.
Yeah.
And so coming
What
out,
do you guys have out there?
I mean, what mudslides?
Wow.
Okay,
Something
okay.
water related.
Yeah, exactly. We don't. I mean, even like we get floods, like
With
where
floods.
Mm-hmm.
not even flash floods, but like it'll
Yeah.
rain. So I think we had one year. I remember we had a record where I think it rained like of biblical proportions, like 40 days, 40
Like
nights.
Noah biblical?
What?
I'm saying it rained like nonstop.
Any snow or just rain?
No, you
And-
get snow in the
okay.
winter
And
months.
nobody
But
built an ark?
no one built an ark. But you'll to the point where you're driving down
Where's
the road.
an ark builder when
and-
you need one? Yeah.
Right.
How do you look
Right.
that up?
Right,
Yellow Pages.
when you start seeing ducks swimming across the freeways,
Stop it.
I'm not joking, because it has dipped down so low and the water just came up over.
Now, this is just a little side note. Did anybody yell duck and then everybody ducked?
no, we're good.
Duck!
Yeah.
Goose?
Stop. I can't with you guys. I can't. We're never gonna make any headway. I'm getting interrupted.
I
I can't.
You know what? I always love Seattle. I love the rain. I love everything about the rain. But I've
Never
lived
been.
in California my whole life. When I was on the radio and I had to do the weather, it was always the same. Like Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
weather never changed, you
Yes.
know? The only time the weather changed here is if it's fog, right?
Yeah.
But you always want to have dramatic weather. And coming in today, folks,
Oh.
it's
Yes.
a tornado. You know what I mean?
No. So
That's true.
But what
That's
I'm
true.
trying
Never
to say
had
to you
anything like
is
that.
there's no point in doing the weather in California.
there really isn't. So okay, there's no point doing the weather because it's the same, especially here in the
Right.
where we are. It's just hot, sunny all the time.
Hot and sunny. Hot
Yes.
and sunny.
So Rebecca,
Pivot.
my wife, love her dearly. She just craves inclement weather,
Yes. Dramatic weather.
and I'm like, I don't understand why.
This guy.
I don't understand why. I've had windstorms. I've had like heavy snow blizzards where you're locked in your house. I've had
Yeah.
the rain where it's coming sideways and it hurts because it's like layered with like sleet and ice. I've had all that. And she's like,
How about
would I-
golf ball size hail?
I haven't had that. I haven't had that. That's like down South Texas.
Oh, gosh.
My brother's experienced that one, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I haven't had that. But like, after you've had it, I don't want it.
Did I
Right.
tell you guys when I was in basic training, there's a tornado that I could see.
Ooh.
That I could see. And the the people in charge were like very calm, and I'm standing here like, what the fuck? There's a tornado right there. Maybe I shouldn't say the F
It's
word.
fine. You're fine.
Did you
You're fine.
say that?
But yes, can you imagine?
No.
Wait.
Stop.
But can you imagine seeing a tornado like
You get-
right there,
they're-
and they're just calm?
There's some things that I know I'm not built for, and
That's
a tornado is one of them.
Right.
If I see a tornado touchdown, I'm like, oh no, this is the Wizard of Oz. I'm leaving.
And they wanted us
I'm
to
done.
stand there in line and
No,
wait for the
no,
bus,
no.
and I was.
I
Let
promise
me
you,
just
I
say-
would break formation and go AWOL before I sit there and let a tornado
Now-
just come at me like it's normal. I'm
Let-
good.
let me
There.
just
I can
tell
still
you
picture
what-
it. I PTSD from that.
Let me just tell you what people who are not thin think when you think I would never live in a tornado state, but not because of the tornado in itself, but what if the tornado came and it couldn't pick me up?
Oh God. So you know what? I
At
could
least
say.
you feel lighter if it did,
What
right?
if the wide angle lens
Oh, stop.
did not work?
So I had that thought until I saw Twister, and I know that's like a completely fictional movie. But I saw cows in the wind, and I'm like, I know I'm a big guy. I am not like rack of beef heavy to the point where like
You're sturdily
Rack of
built,
beef
my
sturdy.
friend.
I'm sturdily built, people.
I think rack of beef heavy. That's going to be
That- that-
something
yeah,
new.
yeah, sure.
Let's
That's
do the
gonna-
next
We'll
tagline.
go on. Rack of beef heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's me. I did pick up that minivan, but I'm still worried.
Yes.
How embarrassing if the tornado doesn't pick
Right.
me up.
I mean, speaking of flying, though, don't you have a good Superman story?
I do. Well, here's what I want to say. So, I first of all I want to thank you all because while I was in a car accident, I was a DJ. I was in a car accident. I lost everything, my career, everything, and the use of my hands.
Mhm.
Because I have a disease called CRPS that resulting from the accident. To me, it's a nerve disease, which means that I can't write or type or really do anything. But I was writing a book,
Yes.
and it was really just I had an epiphany,
Mhm.
and I wanted to take myself out of the starring role of life because we all have our own movie. We're all the
Mhm.
star in our own movie. I was never up for an Academy Award, which is alarming. But that being said, I went on a journey for 2 years to try to see the world differently and the people in it.
Mm.
And I met amazing people with extraordinary stories that were touching. They were good. They were bad. They were touching. They made me cry or they made me laugh. But everyone has a story. And it changed my life. I was so blessed to meet these people and hear these stories. And so I was writing a book that was almost done.
Mhm.
And this
And then,
accident
yeah.
happened.
Life.
Now, I used to believe that, good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. But in this world, you have to really embrace this, that sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
And then you just keep going.
And it's all about what you do with it.
So my daughter said,
Well, maybe we should do a podcast.
There you go.
Mommy, you can't use your hands anymore. We can't finish the book, which we can, but let's do a podcast. And so here we are. So the epiphany came one day when I was on my way to the radio station. Now there's a school right by the radio station, and I would always go by the school, and I really never thought about it, never really looked around, but I stopped behind this SUV, and it was Halloween. And the dad, a yuppie looking dad gets out and he gives me
Stop.
getting a little toddler out. But he gets out and he gives me I'm really sorry. Can you give me 1 minute? And, maybe back in the day I would have been like,
Gotta get
but
to work.
I was just like,
Mhm.
of course, take your time. I don't want to get to work anyway. No, I'm just kidding. But, so he gets his little boy out and his little boy jumps out of the little short little boy haircut with a little Superman cape, little shoes that were like blue. Anyway, and the kid is like, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
I love the little kid dance when kids get
Right.
excited.
Oh, God.
Or the little token.
And why is it the same dance for
I
every
know.
single little
Yeah.
kid? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I say candy in this house, all the kids dance.
Yes.
Woo, Anyway, so he's dancing, and his dad's like, So I rolled down the window. His dad's like, easy now, easy now. I know you're excited about Halloween. Gives a little spit to the hair, gets the little baby ready, puts him on his way, and he takes off running, and the dad's standing there, and I'm like enthralled and touched and I'm moved and I'm smiling and I'm like, this is a great way to start my day, and watching the little boy with his cape flying. And he gets to the gate and he automatically stops. I don't know how he did it, like on a dime. And I'm like, oh, he forgot his backpack. Something's going on. The dad's thinking the same. The little boy turns around and looks at his dad and just gives him a little wave. But it was not just a wave like the Queen wave. It was a wave that said, I know it's Halloween and I'm Superman, but you are the most important person in my life. Oof. And the dad saw it. The dad cried, literally. Yeah. And I cried. And I thought to myself, how many times have I been at the gate and I did not turn around? How many times was I so focused on me and what I needed to accomplish that I did not take 1 minute to turn around and tell the people that I love them?
Yeah.
How important they are in my world.
Well, I mean, even in your story, right? You're like, you're there and you're waiting, and had you not even taken the time to just look at your surroundings, you would have missed that moment, right?
Exactly.
So at that point, the Superman story changed my life because it slowed me down. It slowed my role. And I thought, how many stories am I missing? How many strangers are out there who are not strangers, but just friends I haven't met yet? And so I went on a 2-year journey and I talked to complete strangers. I just went up and talked to them. Sometimes I challenged myself to talk to the scariest person in the room. I just went and talked to them like we were friends.
Love that.
And they responded. Every single person I ever talked to responded and told me their story. I don't know why.
Yes, you do.
Oh, come on now.
I don't.
No, okay. 2 things.
My mother is.
I'm saying you could talk to anybody, right? I've witnessed this.
Yes.
My dad, and my brothers, same exact way.
Your whole family.
Talk to anybody.
So charismatic.
But beyond that, I think that people really just want to be
heard.
They want to be heard.
Understood.
People want connection in general, right?
Yeah.
And they want to know that they are being seen in whatever capacity.
This is what I learned from talking to, and thank you. You know what? I have always been told I'm one of those never met a stranger. My dad used to say that I came out of the womb shaking the doctor's hand and telling him a joke. And I do not disagree with that, although I can't remember the joke.
Yeah.
But you know, you both are the same exact way, and I think it is warmth. It is, people can tell.
Yeah, when you're authentic.
If you're warm and authentic and real, and they gravitate to that and they open up to that. But I thought it was just going to be a shame that these stories weren't going to be heard, because the people, you know, I have challenges, and we all do. But there are some challenges that these people have overcome that really should be told, because they're inspirational, right? They they inspire you to be a better person. And so then the thought for this podcast came about because, well, you know what? We're all warm people. Yeah. We're all willing to, but more than that, we're positive. Yeah. We're willing to see the world differently.
Well, we want to change the world, make it a better place.
We want to change the world and make it a better place. I like that we are changing the world one show of a podcast at a time.
Ooh,
right?
Tagline.
I'll roll with it.
Yeah, you know. I used to say we're changing the world one podcast at a time, but I got schooled by Iz. It's not one podcast at a time. It's one show.
One show. Did I school you on that?
You schooled
one?
me. Oh, you schooled me, but
it's okay. I'm taking notes.
So when the point in the Superman story, and really the good news and the things that we're talking about today, other than the Monty Python song,
and how sturdily built my friend is
that small changes, baby steps.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
If we all just take one small thing and we change it every day, then small things add up to
big things.
Big things, right? You know, I think this is actually a good time to tell how you guys met and how Callie is our common denominator. But because I've often thought of, you know, and I don't know if you guys ever think about this, but what would life be like if we hadn't met Iz?
Oh, man, what would life be like? A lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know,
we wouldn't be here with
for
Iz.
sure.
Definitely
For sure not.
Your life can change directionally at the drop of a dime,
and just
right?
in completely unexpected ways. I could not have seen myself meet if you were. It was not my bingo card when I was in Washington, right? It wasn't.
Yes.
You just kind of you live your life and you encounter people. And I'm laughing because you're talking about how we're all warm people. And while I believe that I'm a warm person, I would not have necessarily always categorized myself that
But
way.
people come up to you all the time.
Yes, they
yeah,
do.
I mean, but that's because I'm hard to miss physically, stature wise, right? Like I'm 6'7". Like
Listen.
it's
But-
easy to see, and you
But
find
it's easier to be intimidated by that
can change
stature,
light
and
bulbs
people aren't.
without a ladder.
Don't get me started on that. That's
You know,
not-
you're financial aid at the college. People are always telling you their stories because they feel like they can.
You know, I will agree with on that one. I have found out so much about people just because they just volunteer information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I've learned to do with that is I'm not going to discount it at that point. If you're going to want to share with me about things, I'm going to listen. And if you want my
That's a
opinion,
gift.
I will give you my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't actively seek it out, but I've learned, I've grown into that part of me, right?
Right.
But like I said, I wasn't always a warm person. At least I would not have always categorized myself as a warm person. So when you talk about how I met Callie,
Yeah.
that's why I laugh about that, just situation,
You definitely
because
have grown into it.
I've grown into it
Yeah.
for sure. And like I know you
Yeah.
mostly because of my brother at that
Right,
point,
yeah.
right? So again,
Shout out to Isaac.
Shout
Callie
out-
was dating Isaac.
shout out to Isaac.
Let's just put it out there.
It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna roll with it. Yeah. So Callie was dating, but again, I was in Kalinga,
Yes.
of all places, Kalinga, California. Now Kalinga, California deserves a shout out.
Yes.
If anybody deserves a shout out,
If you blink, you'll miss it. But
it's right there. In fact, you could even blink. You can go to sleep.
They had a Kmart and a movie theater.
Yeah.
But those are the things.
exactly. I think
You
we
were
did
in
2 screens.
Kalinga. Why?
Oh, I was playing football at the community college out there.
And you were there. Why?
Oh, because I was playing softball and volleyball.
Yep. There
And
you go.
I was there. Why? Oh,
Oh.
there's no
Yeah.
answer to
I
that.
was like, I don't know if you were there.
You know?
I was
You
there
were
for
in the
Kmart,
periphery.
clearly.
Like, yeah, you came around the corner. You hit around.
What was the first time that we met, though? Like, actually met?
Ah.
Because I met Isaac first. And
Well,
then,
okay. If I'm trying to think, if I'm not
Obviously.
mistaken, this was 2010.
Yes.
2010.
Junior college.
I'm trying. Now you're getting
The way that
West
I
Hills?
remember it is
Yes.
that Isaac invited us for a house party to your guys' apartment.
probably. That sounds.
Because there's
You
nothing
guys-
else to do.
You gotta understand that sounds like my brother through and through. Because
Mhm.
Isaac's a person who could be on this podcast. Never met a stranger.
Yes.
Isaac will meet you, and then
Make you
within
feel like so special.
exactly make you feel like you're the only person in the world, and then you will be best friends in a day.
5 seconds.
And
Thirty seconds.
I loved Isaac,
Yes.
but not as much as I loved Israel.
Oh, thank you.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, wait. Are we saying that he's the favorite of the family?
Well, absolutely, except for his mom. I love his mom too. you
Oh
know.
yeah.
I don't know Abraham, but I loved Isaac. I love the whole family. That's a
Abraham
very good family.
It's a combination of Is and
Yes.
Isaac.
So I'd probably like him better than Is, but I don't know.
There you go.
yeah. Shout out to
I'm not
Abraham,
here.
then, huh?
I'm not here. Apparently, I could be easily replaced.
You know? But yeah.
But yeah.
Well, tell the story. So you guys met in college, and then how did I get looped in?
So yeah, we met in college because my brother,
Right.
love you to death. And then I imagine I was not warm at that point, but I'm trying to remember what you
You
remember.
were very quiet, but
Of
then
course.
I was always around because I was with your brother.
Yeah.
And so then you and I became friends. And so when me and your brother
Went your separate
eventually-
ways.
Yes. You and I remained
Yeah,
friends.
of course.
And he became my best friend. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's been about, 14 years that I've known
Yes.
you? 15 years?
Yeah, 14, 15 years.
14,
Yeah,
because
14.
2010, yeah.
Yeah, but it's we're coming into 2025 soon, so
Oh, wait, 2020? 15 years.
15 years. But yeah,
Still blonde.
yeah, we'll round up to nearest increment of 5. But yeah, so 15 years, and I think that we met Mom because it was I want to say Easter.
Yeah, I think spring break.
Yeah, spring break. Yeah,
And you guys were from Washington,
Yeah,
so
I'm
you're
not-
not going to
I'm
go
not-
all the way back to
there's no,
Washington
wasn't
for
doing
a
it.
week off.
And
of
then you
school.
were like, "You guys want to just come over to my house? We could hang out." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Sure, I got why not?" So yeah, we all loaded up in your car and we just drove up to Chowchilla.
In her
Chowchilla,
Charger.
California.
Yeah,
she
it was-
had a
it was- it was
Charger?
in the
A
Charger.
good- Another hometown, small
Yeah.
town.
Callie
Yeah.
had the coolest Charger.
It was
was,
a two-tone. It was like
Two-tone,
cream,
A lot of good stories for that
cream
one.
and what color would you?
Blue.
Yeah, like a blue, like
aqua-
navy blue.
Yeah, like
It
but
was two-tone.
almost had like a little more greener than.
On,
yeah,
maybe a
2-inch
teal.
rims.
it was. I'm
was
saying
a
it was clean. It
badass
was
car. It was
clean.
good.
It was clean.
I think I
A
probably
lot.
got the call that you guys were coming. Oh, I don't think I got the call. I'm just kidding.
I know, I just showed up with
I'm-
them.
Yeah,
was
I believe that.
Yeah.
And my mom. Never met a
Never
stranger.
Right?
perfectly fine.
Welcomed
Come
you
in,
in.
come in.
Yeah.
I loved having you guys, and
So
but
they spent a week at our house.
a week at our house, and but so here's what I remember. I remember that Israel was so polite. What a gentleman! He was respectful, and
Raised
I
very well.
and I love that. And I said, "Wow, what a good mom! I'm bringing that boy up right. Very respectful." but when Callie and Isaac and her friends, they went off to do those things.
Whatever.
Israel stayed back and read his book and was perfectly
that's
happy
right.
doing
Yes.
that.
Yeah, Isaac and I went to go play basketball at the school.
I'm telling
and
you,
stayed.
I'm a bookworm. People, that
That's
situation at your house is my childhood. I remember getting in trouble and being grounded to outside.
You know what? Yeah.
No, I'm serious. You guys are laughing. I'm like, Israel, you're in trouble. Okay, whatever your brothers are doing, you have to do it with them. And then my brother's like, oh my God, he has to. They would pick that time. We were playing basketball all day long.
Mm-hmm.
We were riding our bikes everywhere, going on hikes, whatever the case is. We were everywhere because have no problem in the summer months with my book in the corner of the room, just by myself.
Yes.
I love that about you because what is the thing where people just have to be in the mix? What is
FOMO.
it? FOMO.
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 When I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of acronyms.
No. Fear of missing out.
We didn't have a lot of words because they were just inventing them.
Man,
Seriously.
there's a new one every time that I talk to a teen because I work with teens.
yeah.
I can't,
man.
people.
But there was Israel, and he was reading his book, No FOMO, because I don't know if I used that right.
You
But,
did.
Thank you. But I was like, so when I was growing up, we were poor, and that's fine. When I had a really good work ethic. So did my brothers because of that.
Yeah.
'Cause if we wanted school clothes or shoes, we had to work
Mhm.
for it. But every Saturday morning, I would get up, do all my chores, and go to the library.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know if you kids know what a library is.
Do they still have them?
I remember my library card. I had one. I did.
Or when you could open the book and still smell like
Yep.
the book.
Yep.
Or the stamp that actually showed. Yep.
Yes. And you'd
My-
be like, who had this last in your class?
My Saturday was the most exciting part was to go to the library and pick out a book.
Mhm.
And then we had a little store called Woodbury's because, I grew up in Chowchilla. Shout out to Chowchilla.
Yeah.
But I could get a whole bag full of lemon drops for like 10 cents.
What?
Right? And then I would just go find a place and read my book. And do you know why I love that?
Why?
Because I could go anywhere
Yeah.
in a book.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't invent that line, but I sure as heck made it sound like I did.
What happens if you get through the book and you're like, but I don't want to go here? New book?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'll just reread the book if I really dig it. Like a movie, I'll just completely just end it, start over.
No.
and read it again.
Well, no, not immediately. I don't think I've
I
ever
would.
taken a book and then finish it and then say, okay, I need to go back and read it again.
Yeah.
No. But there are books I have reread 7 times.
Yep.
Wow.
8
I've never
times.
reread a book. I just read
What?
it and then I'll move on to the next one.
Oh my God. I've
Really?
reread like
What
Yeah.
about? But don't you want? I don't know. I would always be sad for it to end, especially if I loved it, and if there was
yeah.
not another part of the book, like
when
another
you're binging
sequel.
a
So-
series on
Part two.
Netflix.
Okay,
yes.
so for example, like I've read the Harry Potter series too many times to count.
Yes.
But when it was originally coming out, I would read book 1, 2, and I think we had 3 originally. So I'd read 1, 2, 3, and then before 4 came out,
Yeah.
I would reread 1 through 3 again, so I could then get all the backstory, then read 4.
Okay.
And then when 5 would come out, I'd read 1 through 4, so I can get up. And I would read the entire series each time a new release came out. So it was all said and done.
Wow.
I would
like,
yeah.
skim, but I would
You guys
definitely
have too much
refresh.
time on your hands. I
No.
have
Do you know
time.
No,
what?
definitely
Kylie, do you remember this? When Harry Potter came out, I
Yes.
got audiobooks from the radio station,
Yes,
and we
I
listened to
remember.
Yeah.
the books on tape.
Oh, I can't.
Don't date me.
That's one thing I
How
can't
old are
do.
you?
Shh. I'm 35. Oh, I'll be
Wow.
35 soon. I'll be 35 soon.
We
I
did
should say.
hear from a little birdie that will be having a birthday at the
A
end of the
birthday.
month.
I will. I'm
It's your
35.
birthday.
I'm old, people. So I laugh just because like I feel like I'm dirt old. I do.
No.
I do. This way.
That's
Okay.
insulting.
Sorry. I'm not
Someone
trying.
in the room who is dirt old,
It's
I am
like our
insulted.
age, friend.
It's not my fault. Okay. Let me explain.
It's not
Like,
my fault.
I'm so I feel so out of touch with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not heavy into social media. Like
I know,
you know
never
this.
on.
You know this. I'm not heavy into it.
Me either.
I'm really just like mellow. I keep to myself. Like I could read my book and be fine. So I feel so settled in everything in my life until I just feel old.
You know
I
what?
do.
Listen.
I'm listening. Listen, Linda.
Being settled and old are not synonyms.
True.
Being settled is a synonym of maturity. That you feel you need to replace old with mature, because that just means that you've moved on to another stage of your life.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're old, at all.
Well, okay, but between that and then again, I threw my back out not too long ago.
That was a story
So being laid up, I know it all.
Yeah.
I know this is something I've created in my brain. Like I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
But it's still something I'm trying to shake in terms of that.
How's
feeling.
that doing, by the way?
My back or
Yeah.
my mindset? I don't know.
You are turning 35.
Oh,
You're
God.
old.
Ibuprofen for the
By
back.
the way.
Right, I'm saying the mindset. I don't know, but okay. In all fairness, my wife piles on me, right? So she sent me a meme that said like no one told me that up until like when you turn 34, you're really just 27, and then you hit 35 and you're 50, and that's what it feels like, right? Like oh my God, I'm like
No, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
When you hit 30, you're trying
I'm
to get
telling
out of
you.
bed, and you're like, oh, hold up.
the
now.
difference between 32 and 33 was the most astronomical difference I've ever felt in terms of changing 1 year. I don't know why, but when I was 32, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm close to 30. Like, I'm good. I hit 33 and I was like, God damn.
Right?
You know what?
Getting out of bed.
Man, like, I'm
not
getting
as young
old.
as I used to be.
Okay, now let's just put this into perspective.
Okay.
I'm 63.
You look good, Mom. You look good.
See,
There you
good
go.
answer.
You look good.
But all that being said, birthdays are to be celebrated, and I'm so happy that you were born, son.
thank you.
Because this world would not be
Oh,
the world that it is.
you guys done surprised
Happy birthday
us. Oh, look at this.
Happy birthday.
We need a lot more
to
candles.
you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday,
Birthday to Israel. Happy birthday.
You guys, this is too kind. This is too
I like to
kind.
whistle at the end.
And many more.
There we go. There we go. There
Did
we
you
go.
make a wish, though?
I wish I would not feel old when I eat
You
this
said
cake.
the wish.
can't
It won't
say the
come out
wish.
anymore.
Then don't
Man.
ask me about it next time.
Man.
See, now you guys get. Do I get a fork or anything? No.
You know what, though?
That's not a real cake. It's just a prop. No.
You going to have your cake and eat it, too?
Well, no one gave me a fork, so I don't know if that's supposed to be
You
a
know,
sign.
like-
I can't.
Yeah. Wait, what is your stage name?
Huh? You want me to
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got to do.
we should
do
have
it
done
seductively?
that in the
Do I do it
face.
seductively?
The cake in
Yeah,
the
let me
face.
come over there and
Do
help you.
it.
Oh.
You eat it like a cupcake.
You know what? If this were your wedding, then
Is
we
it
could
good
smash
cake
it in
at
your
least?
face.
Or is it a
Well,
prop?
how is it?
Mhm,
Let's
okay.
ask him questions while he's got
I
his
know.
mouthful.
That's fine.
Yeah. But listen.
Here.
Listen.
There might be a little shot in there for you.
I'll tell you what I was going to get you.
Mhm.
Because I feel like it's as the same as actually if I actually got you something. I was going to get you a sexual chocolate T-shirt.
What?
World tour.
This is his
Right.
Now,
stage
here's
name,
what-
everybody.
It's sexual chocolate. But here's what I didn't know. I didn't know Sexual Chocolate was a movie starring Eddie Murphy.
No,
I didn't
okay,
know that
it's not
either.
a movie starting. Wait,
I've never seen it, if there is.
No, I know. Coming to America,
Okay.
Eddie Murphy played. Is it Randy Watson? What the case
Oh,
is?
so he's in
Coming
to
as a group, Sexual Chocolate.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't seen
okay.
it, I
Well,
love.
Coming to America.
Man, we might have to make
let
some
me just
merchandise
say,
with this.
If you haven't seen Coming to America, you have missed
Oh,
a
my
big
God.
pivotal
that-
piece of cinematography, or maybe it's not cinematography, but movie making
it's a
technology.
cultural it's a cultural moment is
Well,
what I
not
would say
just
coming to
that,
America.
like all of the-
yeah.
Think it
all
did
of
justice?
all of the characters that Eddie Murphy played, white and
Yeah.
black. I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
not. It had not
He's such a
ever
good
really
actor.
been done like that before, you know.
It was-
And an old guy.
Yeah.
It was just so wonderful. I love that movie. And then, even they made the remake, which is never as good as the original, but it was still
I
good.
do not
So-
see. I draw the line at remakes.
No,
There are
no.
some- there's
Okay,
a
no,
couple
actually, I'm sorry. It was a
Beetlejuice.
sequel, not a remake.
Beetlejuice was not a remake.
Oh, yeah. It's a sequel.
Yeah, I do not like remakes. I like the originals. You know, the original. Like, let's say this Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
They've remade that twice.
Or
now.
how many Batmans can you really do?
Oh my god.
But those aren't remakes.
Yeah, well, not
Some-
remakes, but they what do they call it? They're going to reboot the series.
Yeah.
Refresh
So,
it. Yeah.
Of all that, there's like God. There's only one, to my knowledge. There's only. Oh, I gotta think about it now. There's only one movie that if they ever even try to remake it,
Mhm.
I will riot. And I know it's off the wall, but Sound
Titanic?
of Music. I love the original Sound of
yeah.
Music with Julie Andrews.
Yes.
I do too.
You know what?
Hills are
Exactly. I'm not gonna sing the
alive.
songs because I know all of them.
This is a new no.
I'm serious. I love it. So if they ever try to remake it, I will write. I'm like, no, it
Why
was
is that
what?
surprise? He
perfect
knows
as
every
it is.
word to Mariah Carey song.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's true.
That's true.
You know
But
what?
yeah, stop.
Julie Andrews and those kids and the Sound of Music, you know, let's start at the very beginning.
All of it.
It's a very good
I
place
never
to
paid
start.
attention to that movie.
Why not?
I don't know. When I was a kid is when I used to watch it. So that didn't really
my
struck
my mom was the one that made me watch all this. I've watched.
I love musicals too, but they remade Mary Poppins. Hated it.
No,
Yeah.
again, they did not remake it. They also did that as like a little sequel, a continuation, which I can handle. You're not trying to redo it. You're trying to kind of,
You know what?
yeah,
Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews.
yes,
Come on now.
exactly.
You know?
Again,
Do you know Julie Andrews?
Yes.
yes,
From
Sound of Music.
Diary?
Yes, I love her.
yes. So
Mhm.
so
Voice on Bridgerton, right?
and what?
She's the voice on Bridgerton, right?
She was, yes, she is.
Yeah.
She is. What's her name?
The voice.
The
She's
voice
the
over?
narrator.
Lady Whistle
The
Down.
narrator.
Whistle down.
There you
Whistle
go.
down.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The
but
voice.
the only reason I asked that is because I was going to give you a little bad time because Callie and I watched Princess Diaries many times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're coming out with a third one.
What?
They
Yeah.
don't have a third one.
All right.
No?
No, they have
had
two.
Oh. And
All the 90s kids.
wait, did she
God.
get married in the second one?
Shoot, I
She
don't remember. We have
almost
to
got
do a-
married.
We have to do a watch
Oh.
party because
I
there's a
don't know.
lot of movies we all haven't watched.
I don't know. I think we digress a little
we
bit
did,
here.
We did.
Yeah.
We took a pivot.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday
that's
is happy birthday, son.
I appreciate
And
it.
even though I didn't give
appreciate
birth
it.
to you, I love you like my own son.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like it's a great day
Mhm.
because first of all, having all of you here. Secondly, having a platform to tell the stories of all the people, it makes my heart super happy. But then third, you know, that we can make change. You know,
Yeah.
like if we do you believe that you can change your life just by positive thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we should do a challenge.
A challenge.
Yeah, for everybody out there.
Okay.
To change your mindset.
Well, okay,
Think
we're talking
positive
about positive thinking here. I'm all for the challenge, but let's go ahead and give some context here. When you say like change your mindset, what do you do specifically with that? It's like, okay, I'm going to change my mindset
Well,
to make this experience or make my day better.
I mean, you know, things happen to good people, but if I look at it like it's a bad thing, then I'm going to be with a negative mindset.
Yeah.
But if I change how I think about it, like this might have happened to save me from X, Y, and Z, or I don't know. What's a good example?
Well,
of that?
Like you're saying, God has a plan, and this
Yeah.
had to happen so that this wouldn't happen, or this would
yeah,
happen.
exactly.
Like a
Changing
structured.
your mindset.
Well, see, okay, because I'm picking up what you're putting down. But this is what I would do. Like, okay, so in my job, I work with the public. It's a very, very
Mhm.
public facing institution. So when it comes to changing my mindset, there are days when I just don't have it. Right, I'm dealing
Sure.
with people, and I'm like, I'm tired. I have so much stuff going on outside of work,
Mhm.
and so my patience, what I usually have, I have a long fuse, and I could usually handle a lot. Sometimes it just wears thin, and I know there's one thing that I've done to kind of help with that, which is just saying, you know what, I'm frustrated. I know this, but
Owning it.
not even owning it. I can say the person I'm helping or
Mhm.
supposed to help, this could be the worst day of their life.
Yeah, if we all put our problems
They
in
could
a
be.
pile,
This could be.
one
You're
ours
right.
back.
If you yeah, exactly. If you all put your problem, probably want yours back. But just like, okay, you're coming here. They're trying to go to school, and they just realize that they don't have rent money, or the
Mhm.
case, and they're coming to me trying to get their problem solved. And here I am being bitter because I have a decent job and I could provide for my family, all those things.
Yeah.
But I'm bitter because of what? Like, no, I need to
Yeah.
go ahead and put my problems. I need to put those in the background and still try and deliver the best that I can for you.
Right.
Just changing that mindset, that perspective, like, okay, you know, if this is your worst day, then I need to give you my best of who I am in this moment, so not make it. I don't want to pile on top of that.
Exactly.
So I'll tell you guys this quick little tidbit of a little girl who completely changed my mindset without even saying a word to me.
Mhm.
And that is how I believe that you can change by positive thinking. It's how you see the world, right?
Mhm.
So I was sitting at the airport across the way from a little beautiful little girl with clearly very busy parents on their phones and things. Not that that's a bad thing, but the little girl was coloring.
Mhm.
And she was so proud of her picture, and she was trying to get their attention. And they just would be like, give me a minute. I mean, it wasn't mean. It was just short.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just sitting there, and I was having the worst day. I couldn't find one positive thing about the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at this little girl, and I said, can I see like
What you're
your
coloring?
picture?
Yeah.
You know? And then she was so excited immediately. Her
Yeah.
eyes lit up,
Aw.
and she held up her picture. And in my head, I could hear literally, not voices like usual, but literally I could hear, I see skies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at this brightly colored picture, hearing, you know, what a wonderful world,
Mhm.
singing in my head, and this little girl beaming at me. And I said, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting this little girl on my path, because then I made the little heart, and I was like, I love it. You know, I love this picture. And then she says, and then she writes she does a big heart.
Oh no.
Oh,
Hold it up
God.
to me.
That melts it, right? That just melts you.
And
That's a cherry on
And
top.
I said, you know, God, help me see the world through the eyes of a child more often, right? Because, it affected her. Their parents didn't look at her picture. I'm not going to say that it didn't, but it affected her forever.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I mean? It just, she let it go. And
Yeah.
she kept being positive. And she not only changed my world, she rocked my world. I got up, and I was a completely different person, and she didn't say a word.
Man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It was beautiful, but then I said to the parents, you have a beautiful, she says, the little girl's leaving to get on the plane. She says, bye. That's the first word I
Yeah.
heard. And I sat there for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And her parents turned around looking
Who-
at me
like,
like,
why?
why?
You, yeah.
I said, you have a beautiful little girl. I was just looking at her picture. And then nothing that I said sounded
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
said,
right.
Gotta catch my plane.
Bye.
But that I feel like is it all starts small, but it becomes a habit, becomes a way of viewing people and the world, and changing from positive to negative to
Negative,
positive so often that then it doesn't become conscious, then it becomes subconscious, and
Yes.
you automatically see things positive instead of
It's
negative.
true.
It's a starting point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very true.
So what is the challenge?
Kelly?
Well, maybe it should be how to change your. I don't know. I can't think.
No, it's
something small.
yeah,
Take one
again,
thing.
Take one
I
thing.
don't know.
One thing.
Wake up. Just start the morning with a positive thought.
Okay.
Don't lament the
Positive
day.
affirmation.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
So
like it.
they used to say, when you get out of bed, the first 3 steps that you take, you say, I'm thankful for, I'm thankful for, I'm thankful for.
I love
Okay.
that.
Because my steps are usually like, I want to go back to sleep. I want to go back to
know.
sleep.
My
I want to
neck.
go
But
back to
we're
sleep.
gonna talk about-
Right? My neck.
So
My,
it's
We're going to talk
Oh,
about
oh.
eating the frog in our
We will.
future
Oh,
show.
that's
We
the
will.
next one.
Right?
Okay.
But
that's
if you
such a good
just,
story.
so that's a challenge this week. At least one day, when you
Mhm.
get out of bed, the first 3 steps you take,
I am
I'm
thankful for. I am thankful for.
and
I
I'm
am
thankful for waking up.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
thankful that I'm able to take these steps,
Yes.
and I'm
Right.
thankful to have a job to go to.
On
Right.
that note,
Here we go.
you know, I'm thankful that the coffee's on automatic timer.
There we
I'm
go.
thankful that, I have slippers. It can be so small.
Anything.
You don't have to put so much thought into it, but what it does and what's
Mhm.
supposed to do is make you feel super good. Start
Yes.
your day in a super
Okay.
good way.
Well, I like it.
Well, maybe on that note, we are thankful that everybody came out
Yep.
to listen to us
like
and to
it.
be here with us and watching us. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our
Somewhere
channel.
on the page.
Yes, we're going to put it
Over there.
right here, maybe.
Over there in
I
the
don't
corner. Who knows?
But yeah, we're going to have a Gmail so you guys can send in your stories also because we want to hear about you.
Yeah.
Right.
You are
Like it.
just friends, or no? What's our tagline?
Oh, well,
There are no
I-
strangers.
There are no
Yes,
strangers,
thank
just
you.
friends.
Just friends we haven't met
We
yet.
haven't met yet.
That's right.
Moment ended. But with that being said,
This week.
What?
This week, don't.
I know. I'm going to say it. I'm going to
Okay.
say it. Hold on. The build up. Drum roll, please. Don't be a stranger. Until next time.
It's a brand new day. Wake up